Raining in light, introspection. Introspection. If it isn't already, it is time for this to become a thing in our lives. Introspection is a place of self healing, an opportunity to make sense of what can be made sense of, and an opportunity to move on from what can't be made sense of. Did we already say that not everything in this life is going to make sense or is supposed to make sense? Well, we're saying it now. Knowing that not everything is supposed to make sense gets us further on our journey. Those lingering questions of why that we've asked for years that have been left without answers to can be a thing of the past if we want them to be. Introspection is the part of the journey when we become the definition of an adult. We've come far, we've gotten over some hurdles, we've crossed and even built some bridges. We are now taking responsibility for our actions and how they have and will affect the world around us. We are now willing to stand up and speak up for ourselves. We will make choices based on our very own beliefs and abilities. We are prepared to speak, understand, and think as adults. Introspection, a time to self reflect, a time to self examine, a time to self moderate, and for our mental and emotional operations. Introspection is our look inward. It is our look inside of ourselves and without a focus on time. We are now open to self evaluation. We are now mindful and with a growth mindset, understanding that we have the ability to live well and with meaning if we can tap into our own mental state, if we can tap into our own soul. Because there are two types of introspection, we want to be clear of the positive one and the one that hurts us. Self reflection allows us to grow into the day, while self rumination causes us to devalue ourselves and focuses on our self worth and measures it against our mistakes. Self rumination inhibits us from letting go. Self reflection allows us to use all of our senses to discover ourselves. We gain insight into our heart, into our mind, and into our spirit. Self reflection allows us to take a look at what matters most. We can be able to move away from what no longer matters and without losing ourselves. And by a lost sense of self, we are referring to becoming disconnected from who we are. We are not referring to losing ourselves in our music or in our hobbies. Introspection is our very own problem solving skill. We can analyze ourselves and take a moment to pause, which could lead to better decisions. Introspection is our very own diagnostic test. And while it may appear to be difficult to self confront, there is a reward waiting on the other side. We may get over fear or walk through it. Through introspection, we get an opportunity to look into the mirror. We can become aware of exactly what we look like, every detail of our face and body, every fine line, crease, mole, and wrinkle. The same is true when we look at ourselves inside. We become aware of all that makes us tick. We look at all emotions that we hold in and all of the emotions that we allow others to see. Emotions under introspection can be categorized, they can be weighed and reorganized. We can ask ourselves if our time has been spent wisely on any particular emotion. Have we spent too much time feeling sad, feeling angry, or feeling worried? Have we not spent enough time feeling happy, grateful, or joyful? Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. Time for clarity. Time for your moment of peace. Gently close your eyes if you like. Introspection through our history starts now. Breathe and recall your earliest childhood memory. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. At this time, we will participate in the feelings of this memory by accepting the emotions that come along with it. Breathe and recall other childhood memories and over our early years. Breathe. If we're up for it, if you're up for it, go ahead and move into your adolescent years. Breathe. Introspection through any awkward moments. Introspection through any moments of embarrassment. Introspection through moments that may have been just perfect, and so much so that we may have wished for them in adulthood. Breathe. Recall first experience as an adult. Introspection through all of the moments of first times. Introspection through all of the maturing. Introspection through all of the moments of pain and agony. Introspection through all of the moments of pleasure. Breathe. Life is both pleasure and pain, and forevermore. We will grow through both. Know that when we overcome pain, we gain power over the pain, and to get through the next episode as well. There's the pain of suffering and the pain when we are trying to gain physical muscle and mental muscle and emotional muscle. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Introspection, the objective is to experience quality relationships, first with ourselves and then with others. Introspection because we want to experience more moments of calm than not. Introspection through breathing. This isn't simply thinking about ourselves. This is getting to know ourselves. If you've ever disassembled something to discover how it was made, like an electronic device, this is similar, but it's done with our senses only, and in no way is it breaking ourselves, but maybe hypothetically taking ourselves apart and only to piece or construct ourselves together with more love, more faith, more hope, more understanding, more patience, more willpower, and more grace, and anything else that you may be in need of. Introspection for self awareness, and use caution to know that introspection is not about time spent, it's about insight gained or received. Introspection, careful with questions of why or how. Know that there just isn't an answer for everything. There just isn't a reason for everything. If we become caught up with these seemingly never ending questions, we may become anxious or even depressed. The introspection that we are learning to do here is one to alleviate or ease anxiety and other troubling thoughts and worries. Think about the last time we asked why and how we may have become fixated on that question and perhaps allowed it to overshadow other moments in our day. So, what about asking questions of what? So, what about asking questions of what throughout our introspection? What do I need to grow in this moment? What do I need to give to this moment? What is this moment giving me? What goals should I plan today? What do I need to accomplish these goals? While questions of why hold us in that space of possibly yesterdays, what questions allows us freedom in the moment and to move into the next with wisdom? Long ago, a philosopher once said to the world that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Some may claim to know themselves, yet they do not trust themselves. Introspection and without regard for time, and because we may believe we do not have enough time within our busy days of this and that. Let us be reminded that health is wealth, and there's no better time than now to add in introspection. Introspection is not a new term, it is not a new concept. It's been around and meant to engage the heart, the mind, and without conflict. Introspection to learn from yesterday, introspection for truth, introspection for freedom, introspection as a treat to and just for you, introspection to face our fears, introspection and used in conjunction with other wellness approaches may have promise. Of course, and just the same as other approaches to wellness, we will not rely solely on introspection because today we are wiser and becoming our own problem solvers. A little bit of introspection may help, and for the long haul. So, take a look inside of you. Take a look inside with raining and light.